There was a time in my life when I truly believed that love was impossible for someone like me. Every time I looked at myself, I saw all the reasons people might reject me. I had no arms, no legs, and many fears hidden deep inside my heart. I wondered how any woman could ever accept a man with so many physical limitations. Sometimes the loneliness felt heavier than my disability itself. As a young man, I struggled with confidence. I saw other people getting married, building families, and living what seemed like normal lives, while I questioned whether I would ever experience those blessings. I often asked myself who would want to spend their life with me. Those thoughts brought pain, doubt, and insecurity into my mind. But even during my darkest moments, I held on to faith. Deep inside, I believed that God had a purpose for my life, even if I could not fully understand it yet. Over time, I realized something powerful. Real love is not built on physical perfection. True love begins with the heart, character, kindness, and faith. The more I focused on becoming the best version of myself emotionally and spiritually, the more my perspective changed. Instead of asking why I was different, I started asking how I could inspire others through my life. Then one day, everything changed when I met the woman who would later become my wife. She did not see me as a disabled man. She saw my heart, my dreams, my humor, and my passion for life. For the first time, I felt truly accepted for who I was. That moment taught me one of the greatest lessons of my journey. Never believe that your struggles make you unworthy of love. When I first met Kenny, I felt nervous in a way I had never experienced before. Even though I had spent years speaking in front of thousands of people and inspiring others to overcome fear, deep inside I still carried insecurities about relationships. I wondered if she would truly accept me, not just as a motivational speaker, but as a man who had no arms and no legs. I feared being judged, rejected, or seen only for my disability, but from the very beginning, there was something different about her. She did not focus on what I lacked physically. She listened to my heart, my thoughts, my faith, and my dreams. While many people only noticed my appearance, she saw the person behind it. That changed everything for me. For the first time, I felt understood on a deeper level. As we spent more time together, our connection grew stronger. We laughed together, shared our fears and hopes, and supported each other through challenges. I realized that true love is not built on perfection. It is built on trust, understanding, patience, and genuine care. Love is about finding someone who accepts you completely, including the struggles you carry. There were still moments when I questioned myself. I wondered whether I could truly be a good husband because of my physical condition. But Kenny constantly reminded me that love is much bigger than limitations. She believed in me even when I doubted myself. That relationship taught me one of the most important lessons of my life. Confidence does not come from having a perfect body. Real confidence comes from accepting yourself and allowing others to see the real person inside you. When someone loves your heart, your physical limitations no longer define your worth. When the day of our marriage finally arrived, I remember feeling overwhelmed with emotion. For so many years, I had believed that marriage might never become part of my life. Society often measures people by physical appearance, strength, or ability, and because of that, I spent a long time thinking I would always be alone. But standing there beside Kenny, I realized how wrong those fears had been. Many people doubted our relationship from the beginning. Some questioned how a man without arms and legs could be a husband. Others wondered how we would handle daily life together. I understood their doubts because I had once asked myself the same questions. But love is not built on physical ability. Marriage is about commitment, sacrifice, trust, and supporting each other through every season of life. As we started our journey together, we learned how to face challenges as a team. Of course, there were things I could not do physically, but we discovered new ways to adapt. Instead of focusing on limitations, we focused on solutions. We laughed together during difficult moments, encouraged each other through stress, and built a relationship based on faith and understanding. Marriage also taught me that nobody has a perfect life. Every couple faces struggles, fears, and obstacles. Our challenges were simply more visible to the world, but the strength of a relationship does not come from having an easy life. It comes from choosing each other every single day despite the difficulties. Looking back now, I see our marriage as proof that limitations do not decide your future. The world may tell you what is impossible, but faith, love, and determination can break barriers people never imagined. My story is not about disability. It is about refusing to let fear control your destiny. Becoming a father was one of the greatest blessings and most emotional moments of my life. For many years, I wondered whether I would ever have a family of my own. People often looked at my disability and assumed that certain dreams were impossible for me. Some questioned whether I could ever take care of children without arms and legs. Others could not understand how someone in my condition could become a father at all. But life has taught me that love is far more powerful than limitations. When I first held my child, I felt a kind of joy that words cannot fully describe. In that moment, I did not feel disabled. I simply felt like a father deeply in love with his child. It reminded me that parenting is not about physical perfection. Children do not need a perfect parent. They need love, attention, guidance, and presence. Of course, raising children came with challenges. There were many everyday tasks I had to learn in different ways. Sometimes simple activities required creativity and patience. But instead of focusing on what I could not do, I focused on what I could give my children emotionally. I wanted them to grow up knowing they were loved, protected, and encouraged to believe in themselves no matter what obstacles life placed before them. Fatherhood also changed me as a person. It gave me a deeper sense of responsibility and purpose. Every day, I wanted to become a stronger example for my children through faith, positivity, and perseverance. I realized that being a father is not about physical strength. Real strength comes from your heart, your character, and your willingness to keep showing up for the people you love. My disability never stopped me from becoming a loving father, and that is something I will always be grateful for. Today, when I look at my wife and children, I sometimes think about the boy I used to be. The boy who felt hopeless, afraid, and completely uncertain about the future. There were moments in my early life when I believed my disability would stop me from ever experiencing happiness, love, or purpose. I thought the world would only see my limitations, but now, after everything I have lived through, I understand that the greatest barriers were never physical. The real battle was always in my mind. My family became one of the clearest reminders that impossible does not always mean impossible. Society often teaches people to measure worth by appearance, strength, or perfection, but life has shown me something different. True value comes from the heart, from character, from faith, and from the courage to keep moving forward even when life feels unfair. There were many painful seasons in my journey. I faced rejection, loneliness, insecurity, and fear. Sometimes I questioned why I was born this way, but every struggle taught me lessons that later became part of my purpose. Pain can either break you or shape you into someone stronger. I chose to let my pain become a reason to inspire others. Now, when my children smile at me or when my wife stands beside me, I see living proof that hope is stronger than fear. My disability never prevented me from building a meaningful life. In many ways, it became the reason millions of people connected with my story. If there is one message I want people to remember, it is this: never allow your struggles to convince you that your future is over. Your circumstances do not define your worth. No matter how broken, different, or hopeless you feel today, your life still has meaning, and your pain can still become purpose.